Imagine you're a treasure hunter. You've got charm, wit,
We got you now! Crap!
and a questionable amount of upper body strength. Sounds good, right? Now imagine you're also a walking natural disaster who can't touch anything without it immediately exploding, collapsing, or catching fire. Congratulations, you're Nathan Drake. Welcome to Uncharted, the series that dares to ask, what if history was less about learning and more about shooting your way through ancient ruins while everything falls apart around you? These games aren't about treasure, they're about destruction. Nathan Drake isn't preserving history, he's speedrunning its extinction. Every Uncharted game feels like a 2-hour action movie that accidentally got lost in a Michael Bay fever dream. You've got cursed gold, train explosions, underwater caves, and more ancient booby traps than an Indiana Jones blooper reel. And through it all, Nate's just out here climbing, falling, and somehow not snapping his spine every 15 seconds. And the cost? Oh, they're just as ridiculous. You've got Sully, the human embodiment of a cigar that grew a mustache. Elena, the world's most patient journalist slash girlfriend who keeps filming Nate's shenanigans like she's submitting to this dumbass caught on tape compilation video. And Chloe, who proves that being a sarcastic thief is not just a career, it's a lifestyle. So in this video, we're gonna break it all down, game by game. 5 games, countless explosions, and just enough dumb jokes to make you wonder why no one in the game ever asks, "Hey Nate, maybe don't touch that priceless artifact for once." So grab onto your nearest crumbling ledge, because that's all you're getting in Uncharted. Oh yeah, and some fucking dope action. Drake's Fortune, the one that started it all. Back in 2007, Naughty Dog decided, what if Lara Croft, but with 100% more quips and about 70% less respect for historical artifacts, and thus, Nathan Drake was born. And here's the premise. Nate and his chain-smoking sugar daddy Sully team up with the journalist Elena to find El Dorado, the legendary city of gold. Except, plot twist, El Dorado isn't a city, it's a cursed golden statue. Because why settle for a treasure when you can have ancient death curses instead? The gameplay? Well, it's a mix. Shoot bad guys, climb everything that looks remotely climbable. Every rope swing is an OSHA violation, and every shootout feels like the bad guys took lessons at Stormtrooper Academy for terrible aim. But okay, it's still fun. And let's just talk about the villains for a second. You've got Gabriel Roman, a British guy so generic he might as well be named Evil McVillain Face. And then there's Navarro, his henchman, who spends most of the game looking angry and trying to trip over Roman's ego. And then you think everything is just making sense, right? Normal game and stuff. But by the end of the game, you're battling zombie conquistadors, because of course cursed statues come with a side of undead. Does the story make sense? No. Is it fun? Abso-fucking-lutely. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon where everyone has a gun out of nowhere, and the stakes are find treasure or die trying. And for a first entry, Drake Fortune does its job, setting up Nathan Drake as a lovable disaster we can't help but root for. If Drake's Fortune was Nate's warm-up lap, Among Thieves is him sprinting through a minefield with a jetpack strapped to his back. Naughty Dog took one look at the first game and said, more explosions, more trains, more Nate barely surviving scenarios that would kill Terminator. And you know what? They fucking nailed it! The plot, Nate gets roped into hunting down the Sintamani Stone, a legendary artifact that apparently grants immortality. Naturally, he teams up with his ex Chloe, because nothing screams good decision making. Like chasing ancient relics with someone you ghosted? That sounds like a great idea. Oh, and Sully's back, probably just here to chain smoke and tell Nate how dumb his plans are. The opening of this game deserves its own Hall of Fame though. You're climbing up a train that's dangling off a cliff in the Himalayas, and within seconds, you're like, yup, I'm gonna die here. But no, Nathan Drake somehow pulls it all off, setting the tone for a game where everything is bigger, louder, and dumber. And let's not forget the villains. Zoran Lazarevich is a walking cliche of evil, bald, angry, and built like a refrigerator full of steroids. He's basically what happens when you mix a Bond villain with a WWE wrestler. And Flynn, he's a traitorous best friend who stabs Nate in the back. You hate him, but he's also kind of hilarious, so you don't totally mind him. You're running through collapsing buildings, getting chased by a tank, and getting shot by a helicopter like it's a casual Tuesday. By the time you're fighting blue superhuman monsters in a mystical city, you're so desensitized to insanity that it actually feels normal. This game made Nate human. Sure, he's still cracking jokes while dodging bullets, but Among Thieves shows him at his lowest. Betrayed, beaten, and emotionally wrecked. and yet he still keeps going because damn it, someone has to blow up that ancient ruin. Let me welcome you to Uncharted 3. My personal favorite, many people's personal favorite, probably just the best one out there. The game that proves Nathan Drake is physically incapable of turning down a bad idea. This time he's chasing the Atlantis of the Sands, a legendary city buried in the desert, and let's just say, things get pretty messy. Like every single person in the story probably needs therapy. That kind of messy. The game kicks off with Nate and Sully walking into a bar fight in London. That's honestly already a great start, mostly because it immediately reminds you that these two attract chaos like a magnet attracts metal. But before you know it, they're embroiled in a plot involving a creepy cult leader named Marlowe, her henchman Talbot, who looks like a knockoff from James Bond, but get that out of the way, and a secret society hell-bent on finding mystical hallucinogenic water. So yeah, the story is a bit of a fever dream, but stay with me. The gameplay is like Uncharted 2, but with even crazier set pieces. You've got Nate climbing a burning chateau, fists fighting in the middle of a plane crash, and wandering through the desert looking like he just lost a fist fight with the sun. At one point you're on a sinking ship that somehow gets flipped upside down, because Naughty Dog wanted to remind you, physics don't work here. But let's talk about Sully for a second, because my man Sully finally gets this moment to shine, man! In this game, he's not just the wisecracking sidekick, he's the emotional backbone of the story. You get to see how much Nate relies on him. It's honestly kinda heartwarming. But don't you worry, because they didn't skimp on Sully's usual antics. He's still out here calling people kid and puffing cigars like he's in a noir film. The villains, Marlowe is basically the PTA mom of evil masterminds, calmly manipulating everyone like he's hosting a bake sale of doom. And Talbot, well, that dude is straight up a wizard. He disappears in clouds of smoke, survives getting shot, and somehow turns into the most punishable face in the fucking series. I hate James Bond now. By the end though, you're blowing up yet another Asian city because Nate's superpower is turning priceless history into rubble. The Atlantis of the Sands, gone. Talbot, sunk. Marlowe, also sunk. Sully, still chain smoking. My man. Nate, still queeping. And us? We're still loving every goddamn second of it. And then Uncharted 4, Thieves' End. Oh my god, it starts with a bang, dude. Nathan Drake, now retired from treasure hunting, working a totally normal job salvaging boring boats. The end. But just when you think he's out, his long-lost brother Sam shows up. Yup, Nate has a brother, and apparently he forgot to mention it for 3 fucking games. Classic Nate. Sam comes with a story that's around 50% sob and 50% let's go die together, claiming they need to find pirate treasure to save his life. And because Nate has the self-preservation instincts of a goldfish, he jumps back into treasure hunting business faster than you can say that's a bad idea. This time they're hunting the lost pirate utopia of Libertalia, a city where legendary pirates pulled their loot and then probably stabbed each other over it. Along the way you've got Nate lying to his wife Elena. Smooth move, Nate. Sully coming out of semi-retirement because who doesn't want to risk their life for the 100th time, right? And Rafe, the game's villain who's basically just a rich kid throwing a tantrum with a private army. Rafe isn't alone though. He's teamed up with Nadine Ross, a mercenary leader who spends the entire game glaring at Nate and Sam like she's mentally writing their obituaries. Fun fact, Nadine kicks Nate's ass multiple times, and honestly he deserves it, but out of the way with that bullshit because the gameplay, man, it feels more refined, with updated climbing mechanics, stealth options, and the grappling hook, a glorified excuse to swing dramatically into bad decisions. The environments are breathtaking, from lush jungles to pirate ruins, and Naughty Dog went all in, making you say, wow, I could never afford this vacation. And oh, the emotional punches, man. This game isn't just about blowing stuff up. It's about family, betrayal, and Nate realizing maybe, just maybe, he should stop trying to die in increasingly stupid ways. There's a heartfelt moment where Elena forgives Nate. And for once you're like, wow, someone in this series has emotional intelligence. By the end, you're battling Rafe in a literal sword fight on a burning pirate ship, because Naughty Dog refuses to do anything subtly. Treasure lost. Nate and Elena retire for real this time, and Sam off to make even worse decisions. but at least Sully's there to babysit him. And then we have The Lost Legacy, the game that finally lets Chloe Fraser take the wheel. That's right, Chloe, everyone's favorite sassy, no-nonsense treasure hunter, steps into the spotlight, and she does not disappoint. She teams up with Nadine Ross, and together they make an unlikely duo that somehow works perfectly. The plot revolves around the tusk of Ganesh, a legendary artifact hidden in the deep Indian western Ghats. It's basically another find the ancient treasure, destroy everything in the process kinda deal, but this time with fewer quips from Nate and more absolute badassery from Chloe and Nadine. Their dynamic is gold. Chloe's all charm and snark, while Nadine is a no-nonsense mercenary who probably googles how to tolerate sarcasm in her downtime. Watching these two slowly bond over explosions, betrayal, and vehicle destructions is genuinely satisfying. It's like the buddy cop movie you didn't know you needed. The villain is Azov, a militant leader who is more interested in power than treasure. He's not quite as memorable as likes of like Lazarevic or Rafe, but he makes up for it by being an ignorant jerk who constantly underestimates Chloe and Nadine. That was a pretty bad idea. Gameplay wise, The Lost Legacy takes everything you loved about Uncharted 4, the grappling hook, the open world sections, and the cinematic action, and refines it. The western Ghats are all sprawling, gorgeous playground full of ruins to explore, puzzles to solve, and cliffs to fall off of when you inevitably misjudge a jump. And oh, the set pieces? The finale involves a runaway train, because of course it does. You're leaping between train cars, dodging bullets and blowing stuff up like it's your day job. This isn't just a game about treasure. It's about two women figuring out who they are and what they want, and why the hell they keep risking their lives for shiny objects. The writing is sharp, the banter is hilarious, and the chemistry between Chloe and Nadine is top tier. And just when you think it's over, who shows up? Sam Drake. That's right, Nate's lovable screw-up of a brother makes a surprise appearance, proving once again that the Drake family has a monopoly on bad decisions. His dynamic with Chloe and Nadine adds an extra layer of humor and chaos to the mix, and honestly, it's the cherry on top of an already fantastic game. And there you have it. 5 games, countless explosions, and enough sarcastic commentary to fill a treasure chest. Uncharted is a series that doesn't just tell a story, it launches you off a collapsing cliff and makes you laugh while you're screaming. From Nate's questionable life choices to Chloe and Nadine proving they're the dream team we didn't know we needed, this franchise somehow keeps pulling off the impossible, making us care about a bunch of people who think near-death experiences is a hobby. Sure, nothing in life is perfect. Not Nate's treasure hunting addiction, not Sully's mustache, not even the Uncharted series itself. But if you can't appreciate a game where you swing on a grappling hook while yelling, "Oh crap," every 5 minutes, what are you even doing with your life? So, whether you've played these games 100 times or you're just here for the jokes, one thing's for sure, Uncharted isn't just about treasure, it's about heart, chaos, and pretending you know how to solve puzzles while secretly googling the fucking answers. I know you, god damn it, I did it myself. So, if you did these shit by yourself, man, chef's kiss, I love you. They also made a movie about the game with Spider-Man.